Welcome to the 2023 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this April 25th, 2023 Super Tuesday. So much going on. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Preach to me for the latest interpretation of financial news. We're not financial advisors or planners. I'm not. But I do interpret financial news and hope that you will get something from it. So today we're going to be looking at recessionary fears as well as consumer confidence dipping. However, home sales were up in March and in February in terms of overall sales in all parts of the country. So that's the good news. And also the good news we'll be looking at is that demand for quote-unquote summer flight bookings has soared, according to the AAA and a lot of other analysts. So apparently that's some good news that we are receiving here about this economy. Now, a recession is quote-unquote coming, according to CNBC.com. Stock markets won't come through it unscathed, the strategist says. So, everybody has been wondering, when is this recession going to be? And I believe it's going to be coming up in this summer, winter, and next year, the last year of President Biden's term. So it is coming. It is here. As a matter of fact, things are slowing down right now. You can feel it. As you know, inflation is still above 8%. Real inflation, including food, housing, and everything else, is at 19%. But, the unofficial numbers that we have from the government is around 8.1%, which is still extremely high. And so even though it has fallen from 9 or 10% a couple months ago, 8.1%, it's really at this point just a matter of semantics. So a recession is coming. I think most people know that. Well, you don't have to be an economist to know that. It's just how bad and how long this recession is going to be. And right now, the earnings expectations are going to be coming in for the first quarter and also the second quarter as we go into the second quarter. And right now, there's a lot of layoffs going on. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, we've had layoffs from anywhere from Amazon laying off people to Netflix to Bed Bath & Beyond closing, which we've heard about for the last 2 years in this pandemic, that Bed Bath & Beyond was closing, but now they're officially closing. So you might want to go there if they're having some good liquidation sales and things of that nature if you need anything. But most of the stuff, Amazon covers a lot of that stuff, the household stuff. But, you could go and get some good deals there if there is one in your neighborhood, in your area. But now CNN Business is reporting that Americans are getting worried about the job market. Like I said, once again, these layoffs are still happening, even though people say, oh, it's only 5,000 here, 2,000 here, but those numbers add up significantly, as you know. Consumers, quote unquote, Americans are pessimistic about the outlook of both business conditions and the labor market. So the paradox is, how can you have a strong economy, right, when you're laying off people and inflation is at super high? 3M has announced layoffs to be cutting 6,000 jobs. And the Fed is continuing its rate hike. Now we're getting another 25 basis point rate hike in May, sometime in the middle of May, coming up next month. So we're going into a slow economy with a perfect storm. We have rate hikes, job cuts, and liquidity is drying up, meaning credit for mostly the personal and the small businesses will be drying up as banks cut back on lending consumer credit, heavy consumer credit. Maybe the lighter stuff they will. Maybe some of the credit cards they can give you for 30% interest, maybe something like that. But the more the heavy lending and heavy lifting is going to be cut. I just spoke to a car dealership guy, and I believe he was outside of Chicago. I guess he does a small luxury cars, and he's saying that they're just going to ride it out. They're going to try to do their best to provide customer service and make some sales, but car loans are getting extremely tight right now for new cars anyway. But even new electric vehicles, even though you get a tax break on that, the infrastructure bill passed, but nothing is going to be changed in the next 2 or 3 years. It's going to take 2 or 3 years for that to come into fruition. That Made in America, Build in America stuff that the president was talking about today on Fox, I believe it was his speech. All of that's going to manufacturing is going to take at least 10 years to come back. That. So it's going to be a long time. And so consumer confidence falls for third time in 4 months. Like again, in April, it dipped. The recession fears are here. People know that things are slowing down. Car dealerships, people used to go out on Saturdays or, walk around the car dealership and, purchases you can see were made in real time. Now you don't see that as much. They're empty. They're ghost towns. Things are really, really becoming very concerning here. Inflation. The repo man returns as more Americans fall behind on car payments. Listen, the average car payment right now is over $750, and that's not including gas, the commute to work, which some people have an hour, 2 hour commutes. If you're out west in LA and places like that, you got an hour, 2 hour commute, or even east. If you live in Atlanta in some of these cities, you got an hour and 2 hours. People live an hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes outside the city, or New York and all these places. So the repo man returns. All the pandemic relief is over. President Biden is going to declare the pandemic emergency over May 1st, as you know, and so all that extra money, all that stuff is gone. The stimulus money's been gone. The PPP loans, all that is going to be gone, and now the repo man is collecting. So that is a good business. Demand for summer flights soar. When to buy domestically, internationally to save. So now the news media is promoting, we can get out and travel more. You don't have to wear masks as much, and you see this morning on GMA. Everybody's saying, yeah, things are good. Prices are still high, but who wants to travel when the ticket prices are, it's 20% higher on top of the fuel costs that are going up? Because the fuel is going to be going up, gas is going to be going up in the summer back up to $4 a gallon. I tell you that a couple of videos ago, and it's already creeping back up now to $4 a gallon in some places in the Northeast and Northwest. So for a regular unleaded, premium is already above that, as you know. So who wants to travel? I mean, I love that, it's good news if you can. Definitely take your summer flights, because you never know when something may shut down again. I heard there was another variant of coronavirus now, that something to do with pink eye or something. So that may shut down travel, and that thing may shut down travel. So yeah, they're saying the popular destinations are London, Paris, Vietnam, Japan, New Zealand, and I know a lot of my friends are going to like Costa Rica or Mexico. But be careful, be safe. But of course, that's the good news. You still can get out and travel more. Things are opening up more now that we're coming out of this pandemic. So, but like I said, it's expensive. The inflation is expensive in some of these places to buy stuff. Airlines are making a killing. And then that thing too is, what do you think about that Southwest Airlines thing? They said they had more computer problems, glitches problems here. As you can see, the young lady here in this photo, Southwest had another computer glitch problem. They don't have the money to upgrade. Do you think they're going to be merged into one of the big three, Delta, United, and American? You think Southwest is going to be merged? Or they're going to just do at the end of this year? Or you think they're going to continue on going solo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about that. I believe that we're in the age of monopolies, ladies and gentlemen. Meaning that just like in the Great Depression, when the recession came and depression came, what we had in the 1920s, we had a bunch of monopolies, oligarchies, few companies, 5 or 6 companies owning everything. From airlines to banks to stocks to retail. This is what we're going back to in America, and this is the same thing that happened in the Great Depression. Except this time the wealth is not going to be shared. The rich is going to continue. The uber rich is going to continue to hoard their money and protect it, and let everybody else, fend for themselves. Back then in the Depression, as you know, everybody helped each other, no matter your neighbor or your friend or, your coworker, or everybody helped each other, was willing to help each other. But now I'm not so sure. We got multi-generational families living together in some of these neighborhoods and subdivisions and plans and stuff. But I'm not so sure if the help is there, or they even know how to help. We're not as skilled as we used to be as a nation. Even among the educated class, they're not as skilled in, practical day-to-day survival type of things. And so that's something we have to look at too, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But this summer is going to be very interesting as things warm up, and both the weather warms up and this economy hopes to warm up coming up in June and July and August. Is going to be very interesting. So stay safe. Hopefully in these cities won't have too many curfews in cities like Chicago. And as you know, Walmart moved out. 4 Walmarts moved out of Chicago, or closed out. But that's happening in a lot of cities because crime. Starbucks did it in a couple other cities in San Francisco. They're bringing in the National Guard in San Francisco because of the Tenderloin district and everything is going on, the drug overdose problem and all of that. So guys, as you know, as the economy goes down, crime goes up. The good news is, if we prayed up, a spiritual battle, we have to remember this is not only a physical, financial battle, but a spiritual battle and a mental battle. So if we prayed up and we're training every day, using the training that, God has given us to do, our bodies, our mind, our spirit, to train every day, He'll protect us. And this has all been predicted, as you know, I believe as a Christian in the Word of God, as you know. So continue to prepare. Don't get weary in stocking up on the important things. Like I said, as long as you take care of the basics, or the basics will take care of you. So food, water, medicine, security, shelter. That's it. Everything else is a luxury. But if you can, get out and enjoy yourself while you can, because you never know when travel may shut down again. It's possible. It could be a fluke, or it could be something real. It's already been proven to been shut down. So God bless. This is Tuesday. Continue to focus, and I'll talk to you again towards the end of the week when we get into more of the earnings reports and see how this thing plays out, and we get ready for that rate hike next month of 25 basis points by the Fed sometime in second week in May or something like that. So God bless. Talk to you very soon.